Hello everyone, today we are beginning our environment and sustainability series called Climate Warriors. In this series, we will be highlighting individuals who are giving back to the society by making significant contribution to the environment. Our first guest is Megha Ahuja. She is based in Noida, who is known as Climate Warrior. She is a professional data consultant in the field of healthcare. As a sustainability advocate, she strongly believes in waste management, composting, and upcycling. Hello everyone. Today we have Megha Ahuja. She is also known by the name of Climate Valley on Instagram. Professionally, she is a data consultant in the field of healthcare. Being a sustainability advocate, she also strongly believes in waste management and slow fashion. She loves to tend her plants in her free time. So let's start with the series now. So tell me, Megha, how are you?
Hey, Rakshita, I'm good, thank you.
Okay, so I have few questions for you related to your brand, life, what you do for the environment and for the society as well. So I will start with the question. So my question for you is, could you share any moment or experience that sparkled your passion to work for the environment?
So when I was in grade one, our environmental studies teacher, while teaching us, she just mentioned that we should not be wasting out resources, and also we should not be letting anyone else do that. So if our neighborhood uncle is using a lot of water to wash his car, then we should not let him do that. So those words somehow have stuck with me over these years. So even as a kid, I remember one day I just took a empty jar of candies. I placed it under a leaking tap of our neighborhood auntie just to show that how much water was actually leaking from that faucet. And that is when she agreed to finally get it repaired. So I've always been conscious about our resources and made sure that everyone around us do the same.
Oh, really great. So my another question would for you would be, how do you manage to take sustainability a part of your everyday activity?
So I believe in building systems. So if I'm to adopt a new habit, I would make sure that everyone follows it as a routine. So everyone in our family, including our house helps, would know what to do. Starting from our kitchen, we have like two bins, one for dry waste and one for wet waste. So everyone knows that wet waste, after 2 days, after the bin is full, it has to go into the composter bin. And most of our dry waste, like milk packets, plastic containers, that are washed and stored in a separate cabin. If there are citric peels, we'll store them in the freezer and later use in bioenzyme. Similarly, our wastewater that is filled in a large bucket, and that is the only water that should be used for mopping the floor and washing it. So that is how we have built a little, little systems for all the waste. And so even as if a family member has to go out grocery shopping, they would know that they have to carry a fabric jhola,
Exactly.
a reusable one. So that is how it is. And absolutely no one in the family goes out, steps out of their home without their own water bottle. So that is how we don't do, it doesn't feel like an extra effort for us. It's become a part of our routine now.
Yeah. So that's a great initiative by you guys. Every day doing something for environment. That's a great initiative by your family. So my next question for you is, what is the biggest challenge that you have faced, and how did you manage to overcome that challenge?
Uh, I I don't think I've faced any challenge as such, but yeah, I did face problems with starting, composting itself, because I wanted to start it back then when I was in college, but there were not much options for compost bins, back then, and there was not much literature uh, available around composting. Started with anaerobic composting. It requires more effort in terms of collecting the leachate, and the waste has to be treated separately. You have to dig up earth and put the waste in it. So even before I could decode the process and make a system out of it, my mother just picked the bin and she just put it in the trash. So within a month, we had to discontinue
Okay.
composting. So I had to wait for like another 6 years before I got married, moved into our own apartment, had
Hmm.
another composter bin before I could start composting again. So
Okay.
that was, yeah, one challenge.
That's great. So now tell me what helps you to keep you, like motivated daily and continue your work.
Uh, So my waste is my responsibility. That is the only driving factor for me, at the moment. I remember the other day I was like working with waste as usual. I was composting the waste, and my husband just commented that you are so hygiene conscious. Like you would wash your hands 50 times a day. Then how come you have fallen in love with working with waste and digging your hands in it?
Yeah.
So uh, I simply said that I like to keep things clean, and that is why I want to treat my waste. So that is how.
Okay, that's really great. So now tell me, have you come across any common misconception about the environment or sustainability?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest misconception is that recycling of plastics will solve the problem, the plastic problem.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm all game for recycling paper, cardboard, metals, glass, even glass. But recycling of plastic has its own limitations. It is
Okay.
resource intensive.
Hmm.
Then there is a lot of microplastics generated in the process. And then not all plastic is recyclable, out of
True.
which, even if it is recyclable, much of it is not actually recycled due
Recycle.
to XYZ factors.
Hmm.
So that is where, this mentality that, okay, I can buy this plastic wrap thing only because the plastic is recyclable. That is a biggest misconception. And the only solution to plastic menace at the moment is that we reduce our dependence on plastic and
Plastic.
just adopt reusables in our life. Another big misconception is that we can cut a number of trees and just plant
Yeah.
new trees,
Hmm.
new plants in place of it. So that is also a big misconception that people have.
Yeah, I agree on that. So now tell me what are your future goals or plans to, conserve the environment for future?
Uh, my, you know, there is a lot to learn actually. There is still a lot to do, lot to learn, and lot to unlearn what we have been doing already. So yeah, there's lots to do. I mean, I want to start working on river conversation. I want to start working in cleaning rivers. I
Okay.
want to start with water harvesting.
Okay.
I would also want more and more people to adopt composting and make it part of their daily routine.
Exactly.
So yeah, that are some of my goals.
That are very great goals that you have. I'm sure it will, have a positive impact in future, saving the environment for future goals. That's really great. So now tell me, could you share a moment when you saw the impact of your work being, facilitated at a state or national level?
Not as such. I mean, the biggest reward and the biggest felicitation one could get is uh, when people actually understand
Your
what you
work.
want to
Yeah,
say, right, and they adopt the sustainability practices. I guess that
exactly.
is the biggest
Biggest
reward for
achievement.
me.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, first we need to start with community change, and that will of course lead to national and state level changes. I mean, I really feel appreciated when people reach out to me. They show interest in starting composting when they come up with questions, like how and what can they do with what kind of waste.
Yeah.
And they also ask me about thrift stores. So yeah, that is one reward for me.
Okay, great. That's the most important thing you can get from people is the appreciation for your work. So that's what you got, and that's really great initiative by you. I hope everyone will follow what you are doing for the environment. And as you mentioned that you started this work at your home first, and then you do something for the society. So this is how it works. First you need to start with yourself, and then you can change the environment for good. So my last question for you would be, what message or advice do you have for the upcoming generation about caring for the environment?
Uh, I would just say that environment needs no caring. If we are to, do it for your own health, do it for your future generation, do it if you want your future generation to carry your legacy,
Yeah.
uh, because once the earth reaches its saturation point, because we have already seen it, we are already on the verge of it. We are seeing it in terms of floods, we are seeing it in terms of heat waves,
Hmm.
right? uh, there are forest fires happening across the world. We are seeing climate change, rapidly. There are whales dying. So once the Earth has reached its saturation point, right, Earth
Yeah.
is going to just wipe us all humans out of it, and it would replenish as it
Yeah.
already
True.
has, as it always has. So we need to do it for our own health. That is all I have to say.
Exactly. And I also feel that, the young generation are, going towards environment. They are doing beach cleaning drives. The initiatives are, taken by any company or colleges. So I feel the generation is going on the right track right now. They know the impact of plastic, how it can, damage the aqua life for and the aqua animals and all. So I feel that generation is going on the right track finally. So
Yeah, let's hope.
yeah, so that was a great talking to you, Megha, and I hope this interaction will help our viewers to get to know more about environment, and do the change what they needs to see in the environment. So thank you so much for joining with our campaign for becoming a climate warrior. You are a climate warrior. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Rakshita. Thank you,
Thank you.
team.